Hi, my name's Danielle and I'm an independent Kaszazz consultant in Tassie, and I'd like to share with you a few things about our Bellish Ezy-Press. This is our Ezy-Press. It's an A4 size die cutting machine. It comes with our pads that I use for our cutting and embossing. I've done a video, a basic overview video, so you can check that out and see what the different pads are used for. So basically our machine can lock into place, and we have plates that slide out front and back, and a carry handle and a handle on the end, which is nice and easy to use. And along the front here are our basic instructions of our pad combinations, so an easy quick reference. And there are lots and lots of things you can do with it, so come and join me for a project. There's this little tag I'm going to show you how to create today. This is using some standard paper flowers, standard paper die flowers, and also showing you how you can emboss plastic. Okay, so to start off with, we're going to use now our base pad A, our standard paper die. It does say on the bottom that it's a standard paper die, so use pads A and C. So it's always a good idea just to check to make sure that you know which ones to use. Okay, and I'm going to use some of our, this is butter, one of our SB Essentials, right side down, cutting mat C, and wind it through. If you find it is hard to roll through, then you need to reverse your stack and check your pad combinations. So it should be easy, it's designed to be easy. Okay, let's cut out lots of little flowers. So I'm just going to take them off and sit them to the side. Now I'm going to get some grape. This is our grape. Again, right side down. Oops. Try that again. Right side down. Okay, and we'll put those to the side, and I'll show you how to create the flowers with those in a minute. Then we're going to emboss our plastic. Now, it will depend on the thickness of your plastic as to what you need to do in this step. I found that I needed to use 3 shims, so 3 standard A4 pieces of copy paper. Okay. Then you need to get your embossing plate and your piece of plastic. Now I've cut my piece of plastic out to the same size, you might not be able to see it very well, same size as my tag. So I'm then going to put my mat down, my rubber mat on top, my plastic and my plate on top, and then we're going to use embossing pad B. Now it is really important to go slowly with this and don't force it. If you find that it is too hard to turn, you've got too many shims and you need to go back, or you may find that your piece of plastic is thicker than the ones that we sell at Kaszazz. So I'm just going slowly with this because I want to get a good deep impression. If you go really fast, it doesn't tend to go as well. So I'm not going slow because it's hard to turn, I'm going slow because I want to get that nice impression. Okay. Take off our plate, and you should be able to see that. You can see the embossed marks on there. So it gives a really nice effect and a really nice overlay over the top of things. Okay, so now we can create our tag. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to create these little flowers. So we've cut out our flowers. So we've cut out some purple and some grape and some butter ones. Now what I've done, I've just done 2 to show you. So what it actually is, because the flowers have a little hole in them, we actually have to stick our top flower on top. But before we do that, we're going to edge them. So I've edged all of the butter flowers with scattered straw. Now in the Kaszazz catalogue, which I think is amazing, we've actually got all of our SB Essentials listed. I'm going to edge the purple one with Dusty Concord. We've got a list of the inks that will go and match with our papers. And this is really helpful if you're wanting something like this. You just want to add a little bit of of an emphasis to the edges, but you don't want to overpower it. So they've listed some colour box fluid chalks, distress inks, smooches that go with our SB Essentials, which works really, really well. And I can show you where that is in the catalogue. So let me just show you around the list. So this is one of them. So you can go along and you can look at Crimson, for example, and so the fluid chalk that will match with that is Lipstick Red, the distress ink is Barn Door, the smooch is Siren, and the Rollograph or Ancient Page is Cardinal. So there's, it gives you a nice range of lots of different inks that you can use with that. Okay, so now to put our flowers together, you need your glossy accents. I always keep a pin on my glossy accents, hence the rubber band. And just to make sure that my end isn't blocked up, because they are quite a fine nozzle, which is really good for those precision things, but it makes it really difficult sometimes when you are wanting to get the glossy accents out. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit on either side, just around that circle there. Now, they are held on with a brad, but I found because the circles actually are cut out on them, the brad just slid around and it didn't work too well. So, just positioning that onto there. I'm just going to grab my bone scorer and I'm just going to curl the edges of the flower, like so. And then I'm going to get one of my silver brads, those ones, and pop that through. Flatten them on the back. And then I'm going to pull the centre little flowers just with my fingernails, just so they're not flat. Just give them a bit of dimension on there. Okay, so now I've got 3 little flowers. Okay, and I'm just going to bring back in my tag. Now what I'm going to do, this is a gorgeous little stamp that I've got, which is Friends Like Flowers Give Pleasure by Just Being, which I think is just gorgeous. And now because we're going to stamp on plastic, I'm going to use Stays On. This is our Stays On ink. It's one of our new ones. It's fantastic. You can stamp on plastic and it doesn't run, it just stays there. Hence Stays On. So when your Stays On comes, it does have a little protective lid. You need to keep that. That's so that your ink pad doesn't dry out. Because it is such a quick drying ink, it has a tendency to dry out if you don't have that little cover. Just going to tap, ink up my stamp. Just going to place it where I want it to be. Now remember, I've got the embossed side facing up. Now you may need to press a little bit harder, but I found that it was easier to do it after it was embossed than before. Stamp that down and don't move it. I hope I didn't wiggle it. And there is our image stamped. Now I'll just take a few seconds to dry. I'll put my cover back on my Stays On. And I will clean my stamp with my Stays On ink cleaner just to get off that Stays On. I find the other ink cleaners don't work as well. So what I'm going to do to stick my flowers on is I'm going to use our glue dots, our Bellish glue dots. If you haven't used glue dots before, they're wonderful. They're a little sticky double-sided dot. There's there, that you can just easily attach to anything. So it's perfect for these flowers because they're really fiddly, and plus because we're sticking to plastic, glossy accents takes a long time to dry, so it's nice and easy just to be able to stick one of these on, and then I can position them where I want to. Okay, now next thing we're going to do, we're going to colour our tags that's going to sit underneath our white. You could leave it plain if you wanted to, but I found it needed a little bit of extra colour. So for that I'm going to use our blending tool and our Distress Ink Shabby Shutters. And it's important when doing anything with your Distress Ink that you tap it. Don't go around on your ink pad because your ink pad will actually come off its base. You just tap and always start off the page and gradually work your way on. And it's better to start off with a little bit less ink, so just do a couple of taps, don't do too many. Especially if you're new to blending, and blend it on, because once the colour's on there you can't take it off. You can always come back and add more if you find it's not dark enough. And you also notice that I'm holding it with the wooden part at the bottom. The handle is for re-inking, not for actually blending. You don't have as much control. You tend to go like so. So I always hold it with the solid block. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. Then what we're going to need to do, we need to grab our hole punch, a single hole punch, and I'm just going to punch a circle. Where do I want it so I can see? About there. Just going to punch a circle. Okay, I'm going to then thread some of our organdy purple ribbon just through there, and I'm going to tie a bow. And there's your little tag. So you can use that on a scrapbook, or you can use it technique in a card. Being able to emboss the plastic makes a really nice overlay for things, and it just adds that little bit of dimension without adding any extra colour. Thanks for watching my video today. I really appreciate your time. If you have any questions for me, you can post them at the bottom of the video, or you can contact me at my blog, www.danielleskaszazz.blogspot.com. If you have any questions for Kaszazz, or you'd like to be put in touch with a local consultant, you can contact them on 1800 649 191, or you can contact them via the website www.kaszazz.com, and you can be put in touch with a local consultant and see all the great products on the website as well. Thank you very much for your time.